Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Horst Lüning. I'm the senior taster of Whisky.com, and today we have one of the most famous whiskies, malt whiskies in the world. It's the Glenlivet. Well, and not the 12-year-old, which was very, very popular in the past, but the Glenlivet Founders Reserve, 40% ABV, and priced at Whisky.com for slightly above 30 euros. Well, Glenlivet had been the most often sold single malt whiskey in the USA with its 12-year-old single malt. And then, well, the demand was that high that they did not have enough malt whiskey to sell, and so they terminated the 12-year-old whiskey, I think, in Central Europe, probably. And they decided then to build a new still house, and I think this was put into operation in 2010. And this is a massive still house, and they doubled the capacity of their production. And then they brought out a new whiskey, this Glenlivet Founders Reserve, and I think it came out in 2015. And this was then the termination of the 12-year-old here in Central Europe. But they started a few years ago a whiskey called, I think, Double Oak. Yeah, I think 12 years Double Oak, which is the successor of the old 12-year-old, and, well, is a little bit more expensive, so they have the distance to the Founders Reserve. And, the Founder Reserve is dedicated to the old Smith, I think was his name, who founded the Glenlivet distillery in the Valley of the Livet. Glen is Gaelic for valley, so the Glenlivet is the Valley of the Livet, the River Livet. And it was that good in those times, 1824, which was legalized and licensed, that everybody in that valley added Glenlivet as a surname to its whiskey. So Glenlivet, this is, quite a brand, and with this they managed to bring that whiskey all over the world. Yeah. This whiskey now is a little bit different. It contains a lot of first fill American white oak cask for the maturation. And the 12-year-old, I think, has some oak cask, Oloroso sherry casks in the mixture of the final whiskey, so that this whiskey is more the style the Glenlivet had in former times. Yeah, so that's all. What I mentioned found is that in former times, this Glenlivet bottles had a paper wrap. And this was, you took out the bottle out of the card box and you had this paper wrap on it. And wow, this was valuable. And now they omitted it. I think it wasn't really easy to wrap the bottle with a robot something. So this is a fully automatic bottling now. And you can distinguish this bottle from the old bottles with this curved, wave-shaped gap between those two labels. The old one was straight in between. And in the meantime, the new warehouse runs for 14 years now, or 13 years. And with this, they have enough whiskey for the 12-year-old and for having older whiskeys inside this Founders Reserve. And the first time I tasted that whiskey in 2015, it was very, very, you can taste the distillery character very much. And there had been some metallic youth in it. So I hope this vanished over the years, because now they have definitely, have a look at this haziness inside. So this cork is very, very tight. And there had been high pressure in Scotland during bottling, and now we have low pressure, very cold outside. Yeah, fruity, very Speyside-like. And I have to say that I'm a very, very big friend of Glenlivet. And I think this is one of the very good whiskies in high volume, in mega-selling bottles. But I was a little bit disappointed in the old Founders Reserve, and now we have to see if they increased quality due to the bigger warehouse and the massive production, so that they are able to mature the whiskies longer than they were able before. Yeah, this is distillery character. Citrus fruitiness, oranges, pears. Fruity, sweety, very nice and pleasant on the nose. A little bit vanilla, a little bit caramel coming through from the casks. Yeah, so this is easy going. Now it's very important how it develops on the tongue. Relatively astonishingly oakiness. So this has seen more time in the cask than the first bottlings of Glenlivet in the 2015-16. Yeah. Oranges are stronger now compared to the citrus notes, so a little bit more oxidized. And immediately after the spiciness of the oak, there's, well, a lingering, a smooth aftertaste, but the oak is still there. So this has a definite cask character. That means that it's had been longer in the cask. How long? I have no idea. Nobody tells. At least 3 years and a day. That's the law. And I can't tell you how much it is. I like it. Yeah, I like Glenlivet. It's a personal favorite. Might not be applied to your taste, no. Yeah. At around 30 euros, dollars, pounds, it's reasonably priced, and there's volume there at the distillery, so it should be available everywhere on the shelves, and especially in the US. That's it for today. Thank you very much for watching.